our investors came to us and they said, we want a bulletproof trust. So we knew from the outset that we couldn't just find something that was going to be worthwhile today. We had to go beyond that. We had to create a trust which could sit in our investors' portfolio as a bedrock. We went and found 3 different assets strategically off market and bolted them together to really create a trust which is underpinned by fantastic tenants and has income reliability from day one. So Fargo Way in Welshpool was an asset that really jumped out at us. First and foremost, it's a logistical and industrial asset situated in a core industrial precinct in Welshpool, which means that of all the tenant demand in WA, that's where it's going to be centralised and that's what's going to stand the test of time. So when we look at what drives that value, what drives that tenant demand, it's the ability of that industry and that sector to arterially link to all the major networks and network hubs around WA. So we've got a 1.6 hectare site in the middle of Welshpool, and over 70% of the value of that property is tied up in the actual land. Now, not just that, but when you look at the users of this property industrially, we've got 205 square meters of frontage, direct street frontage, so that the accessibility to the site and the ability to drive around for ingress and egress is absolutely perfect. So the tenancy profile of this asset is fantastic. We've got the Workwear Group, which is a subsidiary of Wesfarmers ASX listed company, and they've been there 20 years. So what does that tell us right from the outset? They enjoy the location, they've been there and they know it. They've just spent $230,000 on fit out, so they're not going anywhere. We have absolute confidence in this tenant, having a tested and tried location for them. Now on the other side of that ledger, on the other side of the property, we've got the Dod & Dog Group, who are a second-hand auctioneering company, but largely working in the mining, oil and gas sector. So massive amounts of equipment that is extremely large. So they need the space, but they need it under roof. They need it to be safe to allow them to go out and get the contracts that they need with the likes of BHP and Chevron and Rio. 60 Magnesium Drive, Crestmead. Let's start at the top. The very first thing here is that we love Crestmead. We've already got assets there, and the reason why is because it's so strategically located to cater to the industrial, transport and logistics industries and all those road linkages in the southeast and southwest of Brisbane corridor. So how does the site respond to the demands of the tenants that want to be in Crestmead? So the first thing is it's a massive logistical hub. So we want the ability for our tenant and our user to enjoy that logistics feature, to be able to drive straight through the site without needing to turn around. And that's what we've got with this site. We've got dual street frontages, so there's 2 different access and exit points, but it allows a truck to drive in without a turn, dock and keep moving. So it's an enormously efficient site for that type of user. Chesterfield Road, Mirrabooka is a property that we went and sourced off market. We did it because of the relevance of the tenants to the area. We know that a Centrelink anchored suburban office asset has enormous relevance in that lowest socioeconomic region. Now Mirrabooka is exactly that. 2/3 of all the migrants landing in WA land within a 5-kilometre radius of the site. There's a bus port 300 metres away. So when you look at the tenants that are actually occupying the site, anchored by Centrelink, the federal government, and next door you've got migrant resources, and next door you've got employment agencies. These are the types of tenants that have to be smack bang in the middle of that demographic. So the tenants that are occupying Chesterfield Road, Mirrabooka are 88% backed by state and federal government. So what does that mean? It means that a huge proponent of the income is backed by the federal government, being a Centrelink branded site, and then next door to that we've got agencies which are also supported at a state or federal level by government. So fantastic reliability to that income stream. So when our investors came to us 6 months ago asking for a bulletproof trust, this is the beautiful culmination of that. We've got 54% of the income of this trust backed by ASX listed federal and state government tenants. We've got 3 different properties, 7 different income streams, assets in 2 different states. So the diversification here is absolutely sound. But what we're delivering here, this 8% return we're delivering, the reasons behind that return, all the data, all the research, all the due diligence we did behind that data is absolutely sound. And what we found over this journey is that at each stage, we've become more confident in just how fantastic this investment is.